to Two Guys and a Comic Book. I'm Ulysses Campbell.
I'm Andy Hirschberger.
And I know that you might have been expecting to see my stalwart Patrick Michael Strange here. I'm afraid he's on a top secret mission elsewhere. You stay where you are, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Jeppe, and I'd like to welcome you to Jeppe's Entertainment Museum. In 1974, I quit my job as a letter carrier at the U.S. Postal Service and opened a small comic book store in the basement of a TV repair shop. Little did I realize that from that humble beginning would grow this incredible pop culture collection you see here today. At the center of that collection is the comic character. The Brownies, Buster Brown, Mickey Mouse, the Lone Ranger, Superman, Barbie. These are just some of the characters who've made a tremendous impact on our individual childhoods while at the same time shaping our collective experience. As you wander through these halls, you will see the history of the country and our changing society reflected in those characters and the media through which they entertained us. Why are these characters so important to us? Perhaps it is their power to distract us. They've brought us relief in times of trouble, like the Great Depression and World War II. Today, they help us escape the pressure and stress of our ordinary, everyday lives. But there's more to it than that. These characters have played a large and largely unrecognized role in our education. Batman comic books helped me to learn to read when I was 5 years old. Thanks, big guy. That experience fostered a lifelong love of reading.
Welcome back to Two Guys and a Comic Book. We're still here at Jeppe's Entertainment Museum in the gift shop, which of course is my absolutely favorite place to be. And we're fortunate enough to still have Andy with us. So, how we doing?
I haven't eaten in days.
You and me both.
I need a sandwich. Bad. Oh, I'm doing great. It's good to have you here. It's good to be in the gift shop with all our wonderful Spider-Man related stuff.
Yeah, we're
because
really
Spider-Man's so out right now. Nobody remembers that he's one of Marvel's key figures. Well, with the Avengers taking all the attention nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Well, and especially because he's actually a member of the Avengers.
Yeah,
now.
but I didn't see him in the film. I was looking for him.
I was too.
I kept telling my cousin, just wait till Spider-Man shows up. You're going to be really happy then. My God, did I have to pay them off an ice cream. Well, that camp is going to go to is going to help trim some of that off. But that's okay.
Well, I've heard rumors that they're trying to work something out with Sony to have Spider-Man appear in the next Avengers movie. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but
that would be very pleasing. I think a lot of us that have been reading Marvel from the get-go and know what the Avengers should be, feel that with the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man not being part of it, like we're getting a great product with the new movie. We're getting like this excellent presentation, but we're not getting the whole product. And the whole family, I should say, because we want those characters.
Yeah.
We read that they're an important part. Spider-Man needs to fight one of them. Wolverine should be in there. They gotta do their thing.
do you remember about 25 years ago now? Actually, the young thing that you are, you probably wouldn't. But it was the first flirtation that Marvel had with Spider-Man and the Avengers. And there were two issues where he sort of appeared as a guest star and was interested in joining the team and getting on payroll because, of course, at the time, the Avengers got $1,000 a week stipend, and he thought how wonderful that would be to be a member of the Avengers and to get paid for this,
I love how Peter is always the most impoverished genius. It's like, I just made web slingers, but I'm not going to make any money off of that. And then he tries to break into the Fantastic Four's web lair to try to get in with them because they have money. And nobody wants to write this guy a check. It's almost like Reed's one of those guys like, it's really good for you, Peter? Starving.
Well, and as far as, that business about the length of time it takes him to develop a script, it takes some people a long time, takes some people a short time.
Creative process is always interesting. The answers may seem commonplace to some, but when you really think about it, each artist brings their own different approach to it. It's nice to hear that he's working at that level and still being able to put that stuff out.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm fascinated. Yeah. You summed it all up quite neatly. Andy, Spider-Man is kind of misunderstood by some, and shockingly so. I had the experience just recently. I ran into somebody who had some comic book knowledge
Yeah.
who swore to me that Spider-Man was a thief.
Really?
Yeah, can you imagine? I said, you've been listening to too much of that stuff that Jameson puts out on the Daily Bugle.
Where did he get this idea from?
Well, actually, it was a she, and
Oh,
she
pardon.
felt that this is where Spider-Man got his money. You know, he would break up a racketeer and skim a little off the top. I said, the one thing I can absolutely claim expertise in is comic books. I said, you are absolutely wrong. I said, I want you to show me the comic book where Spider-Man steals anything. I said, that's the whole problem. The guy never has any money.
I mean, if he was a thief, his uncle'd still be alive. He would have taken that guy's money that was due him and just walked out the door.
Or maybe the whole gate.
Yeah.
But on that note, stay right with us. We're going to break for a couple of minutes and for some very interesting messages, and we'll be right back.
Imagine being a hero. Imagine fighting the bad guys, saving the world, all that good stuff. Now imagine fighting an enemy you can't see or touch. Extra Life. Play games. Heal kids.
Thank you very much for joining us again. We're still here in Jeppy's Entertainment Museum. I'm still with my partner Andy here. And, I was looking. You've got something interesting that's sitting over here behind you.
Well, yes, I do. I have copies of the latest Overstreet guide as foam core mounted. Unfortunately, we're a little early in the year. The books have been published, but I'm not allowed to show them to anybody because, as you know, the information is top secret until sale date. We have two lovely covers here for the issues, the Avengers and the Catwoman, which is your favorite.
I like the Buscema cover.
Oh, yes, that's right, the Buscema cover, the Catwoman
I mean,
cover
hey,
is...
well, I mean, she's pretty sexy, but I'm something of a purist, and so that really speaks to me.
Well, this is, it's I think, like with the work that the guys do at Gemstone Publishing, Mark Huseman and J.C. Vaughn have really both come up with their excellent choices. Mark Huseman with Catwoman, J.C. Vaughn's with the Avenger choice, and they appeal to the DC and the Marvel fan, and they cover the summer market in films very well.
Very well.
Although Anne Hathaway is not as, how do we say, voluptuous as this Catwoman, but she'll probably do an excellent job in the film, as she is real and this is a drawing. And of course, our favorites, except I don't remember Black Panther being in the Avengers movie.
Well, now that's true, but I happen to have been down at the Heroes Convention in Charlotte this past weekend. Of course, Stan Lee was the special guest, and during the panel that he gave on Saturday, someone asked about upcoming Marvel movies, and Stan said that he would love to see the Black Panther be the subject of the next Marvel film.
I heard that there was plans on having that out in 2014. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be a film or they're going to go the TV route, but it seems a little unfair to have the one character be a TV show. Then again, it could prove lucrative because Marvel's been like batting 1,000 right now. Amazing stuff coming out from them. Except their next movie is an adaptation of Casper the Friendly Ghost. No, I'm kidding. It's Wendy the Witch. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it might open the door, though, to having some of these characters that we know and love appear on television again. Because, of course, years ago, back in when dinosaurs roamed the earth, when I was a young man, Marvel was the one that sort of had cornered the TV market, and DC had the films.
Well, I think since I suspect we're actually closer in age than my youthful appearance belies, but I remember in the 70s it was always Spider-Man, the TV show, or as it got broken down for me, because I was a little younger, was the 2-hour movies. The movie of the week was the Spider-Man block, which was the 2 TV shows put together, and of course, Spider-Man on the Electric Company.
I'd forgotten about that.
I used to subscribe to the magazine just for the Spider-Man page. Never thought to actually read the 32-page comic book.
Well, why would you?
I mean, you're 8 years old. You want to see Spider-Man, and you think he's an Electric Company character. But I also had Batman growing up. Of course, not the Batman that you would expect to see today. More of a jovial clown than a Clint Eastwood throat-inflicted tough guy.
That show really had some heart, though. The 1960s Batman TV series with
it's-
Adam West and Burt Ward.
It's
Particularly the
exceptional.
very early ones.
I think, no, it had great heart. It was hysterically funny. The writing on that is
I didn't get
incredible.
that so much when I was younger as I do
I
today.
did not either. But it, honestly, I hate to say it, that Bat car has never looked cooler. I'm sorry. I like the Adam West Bat car. I put it up against any other one of the vehicles. I don't think it's ever been topped on film.
You are not alone. I tell you something.
Yeah.
I had the privilege of meeting. There's an outfit that has the official license from DC Comics to reproduce the Batmobile. And I had the opportunity to meet these guys and to actually ride in one of the cars. I've got a picture sitting in it. It's like, and they only charge $150,000 for each one.
Wow, that's nothing. Easily finance that with my drug business. Bath salts, who wants to buy them? It only caused 6 or 7 of your friends to lose their face.
Well, But it's a beautiful car, and you're right. I mean, very iconic and something that is going to outlive all of us, as all of these characters will. Andy, it has been great talking to you.
It's a pleasure.
You are a fine stand-in for my friend Patrick Michael Strange, who is not here today, of course, because he's on a top-secret mission, so we're going to keep that under wraps. But, you stay where you are, and we'll be right back.
It started small. Then it went global. Gamers from North America coming together with gamers from all around the world, from all walks of life, getting together to play games for 24 hours and raise money to help cure sick kids. With all funds raised staying local with Children's Miracle Network hospitals and partner hospitals internationally. For more info or to sign up, visit www.extra-life.org. Play games, heal kids, Extra Life.
Welcome back to Two Guys in a Comic Book. We're still here at Jeppy's Entertainment Museum. We've still got Andy with us, and I think that we're just about out of time, but I believe you've got a couple of minutes if you want to sort of get one of the last words in, about Spider-Man or about what's going on here.
Well, I'm definitely interested in discussing Spider-Man for a couple of seconds, but I would like to throw one more plug for the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, 41st edition, which is available from Gemstone Publishing, gemstonepub.com. Now that we've done that, I'm very impressed with this new Spider-Man movie. I have to say I'm a little disappointed Tobey Maguire didn't come back because he did a good job. Alan Garfield is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think he's a good casting choice.
But Emma Stone as Gwen
Stacy.
is why didn't we get this movie to start with? I mean, it's like, why are we not getting that story? And hopefully they'll have the integrity, or should I just say, hopefully they'll have the wherewithal to take that story to its logical conclusion, or to follow the original publication.
They should. In fact, I thought that was one of the one weaknesses of the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, because of course, I'm assuming that they wanted to use Mary Jane because she was the love interest in the comics at the time, and so they're thinking, all right, we'll sell more books if we make it closely resemble what we have here. But Spider-Man had a certain vulnerability, more so than a lot of superheroes, and the tragic situation with Gwen Stacy, I thought illustrated that exceptionally well.
Wow. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and it's going to be interesting to see if Spider-Man will actually give the Avengers a box office run for its money, because in about 10 weeks we'll probably hear that the Avengers is the second highest grossing film of all time.
That would be welcome news.
Well, it looks like it might happen. Titanic is still sailing ahead slightly, but maybe they can sink that boat again.
Nice pun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Couldn't figure out where that one
Well, we'll have to see, though, with this Spider-Man movie, because, as you point out, they have some opportunity here to mirror the events of the comic book. It's another reason I'm very happy to see that they have Gwen's father, Captain Stacy of the NYPD, in there, too.
And Dennis Leary looks like he's really filling the role out nicely.
Yeah, shockingly so.
He's a hit-and-miss actor in my book, but this looks like it's definitely going to hit with me. And probably, hopefully, for the audience.
Also, the lizard looks scary. I've seen some of those previews.
I
And,
only see him with the human face.
Oh, really?
I'm happy to hear that. I was a little
Yeah.
scared it was going to be another case of actor not wanting to be off screen when in a costume.
Yeah, I think they CG'd him, as the lizard, and he's really very frightening, inhuman kind of thing, so that we'll have to see what happens, but I'm extremely optimistic about this.
I am worried that we'll keep seeing Spider-Man's mask get ripped off every 8 seconds, but we can live with it with a good narrative. But
And
that's,
on that,
yeah.
we'll have to see. But on that note, thank you for joining us for another scintillating, exciting episode of Two Guys and a Comic Book, and we'll be back. You keep tuning in because we love to have you and we love to do this. And Patrick, we'll be looking forward to having you back next time too on Two Guys and a Comic Book.
I dreamed of creating this museum for almost 30 years, a museum which chronicles the history of Maryland sports. If there is a more appropriate place to display the history of pop culture in America, I can't think of it. I've been called Baltimore's biggest cheerleader. Guilty as charged. Heck, I even bought the City magazine. I was born and raised in Little Italy, an ethnic neighborhood just across the Inner Harbor from here. I love this city and all of its spectacular attractions. From the National Aquarium and the Science Center, to the Walters Art Gallery and Museum of African American History and Culture, to the restaurants of Fells Point and Little Italy, Baltimore has something for everyone. I urge you to visit all of those places and experience everything this magnificent city has to offer. But first, I'd like you to take a trip with me in my time machine to discover or revisit all the wonderful characters, friends I call them, that have shaped our popular culture. And don't be afraid to say, hey, I had that when I was a kid. I do it all the time.